All right, I like to do these aftermath videos. So teams going on, we'll touch them at some point in time. Like to take a look back at the teams that went home, because I often say a lot of times it's more about losing games than it is a team winning games, and that's not taking credit away from the winning team. They're doing exactly what they need to do. All I'm saying is it's not just, hey, we're going swing for swing and one team just makes more better swings than the other team. It's one team usually makes more mistakes than the other team. So that's why the team that wins, they earn it, but you often say you lose more games than you win. And I felt that was the way this played out for Buffalo. And obviously Josh Allen was very emotional about that. And so you understand that he was disappointed in his performance. But I want to take you inside the game and show you some of the things that I saw and why I felt they would really be disappointed when they went back and watched this. Now, there's always going to be great things when Josh Allen is playing the game. Going to be great moments. So this is a favorite play of theirs, the fake toss. And they run a little sled over here, which is a swing with a lead. And then they try to get the whole defense to go over here because it's a 4-strong look and bring the tight end back. And then they're going to wrap another guy back around it. So it's a really great job here by Josh early in this game. He wants the shallow. Pumps it, doesn't have it. Boom, quickly back to number 2. Little sidearm, get the ball out. Afunga right here is coming free, so he's got a hot situation. He's got to get this out. So a great reaction by him to get around that and drill this on Shakur for a first down. All right, so again, always about looking to see, okay, why are we doing what we're doing? So this is a mesh concept, okay? So we've got a little bullets route, what I call bullet shoot route there. Then we're going to run the mesh concept, which is going to take this here. And it looks like they're running Kincaid on a cross here. And then I'm not sure what Cooks is doing here, if he's going back this direction or coming in here late, okay? So I always like to ask this question is, though, how do we ask our quarterback to read this? Because most teams are going to have them look at this little bullets here first. And if it's not there, then they bring the mesh to that side. Because his eyes are there, the mesh goes there. What do you mean by the mesh there? When two guys are running a mesh, what do you mean the mesh going there? What I mean by that is usually the first guy you read on a mesh is going to be the guy that goes underneath. Because we're trying to set a rub or a mesh for him, so he comes underneath, and that's how we're going to get open, because the defender is usually going to play up above on top of the receiver, so that's why the guy that goes underneath. So we're usually going to go here, 1 to 2, and then we'll work our deep ones from there. But based on watching this, so watch the mesh by Buffalo. See the mesh right here? So now the mesh, the underneath guy is coming the other side. So it makes it a little more difficult if we're going to read this shoot first, and then we got to bounce our eyes all the way to the backside. But you really have to do that as a quarterback, is you have to find the underneath mesh, or you got to think the underneath mesh first. Now, we will often say, hey, just read the mesh. So read these two guys, and anybody could pop open there. But I always like to think wherever you're going to start the quarterback's eyes, bring the mesh to it. But they don't do that here. They're going to, have the little bullets to the left, and then the mesh is going to come out here to the backside, and then I suppose you can go up over the top and then work to your backside from there. But with that being the case, there it is right there. Right there. There's the mesh right there. We've got Shakur open right there. Just put it on him. He's got a chance to score a touchdown here. We get the drop here with the corner, but we don't do that right here. Josh makes a nice run. They end up scoring a touchdown on this drive anyway, so not really anything lost here. But I'm always just looking for little things. And throughout the course of the game is how's the quarterback reading it? What are they seeing? Are they getting it to the open guy? Missed opportunity right there, maybe for a touchdown, but still make a positive play on it. Okay, really love this. Okay, so something we saw Kansas City do in the Super Bowl couple times against the Eagles a couple years ago. We're going to motion here, and this team, when they play man, here's what they do, is they don't chase all the way across, but they try to rock it. Okay, so this corner goes there, and he's going to chase some man to basically his side, and then if he goes to the other side, they'll rock somebody else down here to take man. So we're going to take advantage of that right here. Surtain is going to feather off here when I start to go in motion and pass him off to the other side. Now I'm going to come back here, and he's going to be late or deep in reacting to it. So you see right there, there it is. Go, go, go. He's saying, Hufanga, go chase that guy man, and he's going high and usually has to replace that responsibility and almost become like the high safety in that look. Now we're going to plant, and we're going to come back this direction. Oh, he gets lost in the mix because the other aspect of this could be, okay, let's say Hufanga is covering this tight end here. Whoever this is covering the other tight end, and Surtain is covering this guy. Okay, so as soon as we motion and get to here, they're saying, okay, Hufanga, now you've got the inside guy. Now I go to number 2. Now I go to number 1 here. And in doing that, when that guy releases, they lose all sight of this guy because they can't pass it back off to where they were originally. See, they're passing it off. And so you wonder why Surtain is looking inside, because Hufanga went back to his original guy and is reading inside. He's reading inside, but he is also reading inside. Nobody takes this guy going to the outside. Great play design, great timing on how they set it up, and an easy touchdown there for Buffalo. Okay, so these are the little ones that I'm talking about. Okay, so they're running a little stutter go, and so with this little stutter go, I get it. You know, you're trying to take that shot right there, okay, and you get a little stutter by the DB. Now he contacts him. Probably should be a penalty right here because he contacts him. It's the worst part of it. When you're running a double move and your double move or your guy down the field gets contacted, you can see ball is already out of Josh Allen's hands. It's probably going to be overthrown. Yep, it's overthrown. So the huge key when you're running a double move, quarterbacks and coaches, is when you pump or when the guy stutters, you got to let him get going again. You got to let him go and see what's going to happen, whether it's a collision or just speed, because if you don't, a lot of times this is what's going to happen, and we're going to overthrow it. And then on top of that, you know, I was looking at this one because we got a huge shot right here on this corner route that's going to be open as well. So you want to be definitive in making sure that guy wins. But again, I'm going to give, I'm going to let you guys know how tough this is. How tough is this to see a stutter, decide if it wins, and then have a corner route coming out at almost the exact same time? Like, how am I supposed to read this? Here's the stutter is coming out the exact same time as the corner is coming out. And so these are the things that I see on tape. And I always ask myself, are we giving this guy a chance to truly read this out and be right here? Because A, he's either got to say, forget the double move, I'm just going to chalk it up to not being open because the DB's high and not really give him a chance. So I can read this defender high, low, corner, flat and be on time to the corner. Or we're just saying, hey, give that double move every opportunity, knowing that they can't get to the corner route on time because of it. And so I always ask, like, why do we do this stuff? Or maybe this guy's supposed to be more patient. Sell it, and then come out. Okay, that makes more sense. But we've got to be able to tie these routes up so the quarterback legitimately has a chance to read the double move and then get to the next part of the progression. If we don't do that, we're doing our quarterback a disservice because it's hard for him to play on time to everything we're asking him to do. Okay, love this little play call. You see it happen all the time. We're going to have our 2 receiver set here, and we're going to run what I call a T-naked. Okay, so it's a naked bootleg. Naked bootlegs are always going to have somebody in the flat, somebody on the deep corner, somebody on the cross. Okay, and so that's what we're going to get. But with the T-naked, that is the T or the tailback for me is going to be the flat guy. So instead of having somebody else, he's going to come out here to the flat. And it's such a great play because when a team is in man, we have to count the guys here, okay? So it's basically 1, 2, 3, okay? So we've got 1 defender, 2 defenders, 3 defender right here. So the 3rd defender in is the one that's covering the back. So when you run the T-naked, it is so hard as these guys come off and down for this third defender to get through all of this mix right here. It's much easier if the guy going to the flat is somebody out here and he goes to the flat. He doesn't have as much to get through, meaning the defender. But when we do it with the tailback, it makes it so hard. Okay, so both of these guys, they do a great job. This guy's running the corner. This guy's blocking down. He's going to be the trail guy. But he forces these two defenders to come down inside, and then they're the ones that are going to pick their own guy right there. See, the linebacker who's covering the back is right here, running into Dawson Knox and his defender and everything going there. We're opening up the edge. Again, love the play call, love the play design. Easy, big play out here, but you see why it's so difficult to cover when number 3 has to cover the back and get through all that junk. Easy pitch and catch, and it equals a big play for the Bills. Okay, interesting play here. I have no idea what's going on. Looks like the mesh again. So we got kind of his bullets here, and then we're going to run this mesh here. Okay, now I have no idea what Dawson Knox is doing right here. Like, as we come out, okay, we look at the bullets, and then what's Dawson Knox doing right here? What's he doing on this play? So this time they're running the mesh and bringing the mesh here. So I want my eyes there if I'm the quarterback because I'm looking for that shallow to come in that area, but now I have Dawson Knox standing in that area as well. The shallow is going to be there, but there's a bunch of bodies there, and again, I'm not sure with Josh here, his eyes, I'm not sure what he's looking at. So the beautiful thing about mesh to me, and again, I'm not a big mesh fan, but if you're going to do it, bullets here, bring the mesh here. So now my eyes and feet can start out here, and I naturally can see what's going on in this window. If I don't have the bullets, my eyes go right to this window to see if something's open in that window. So if that were the case here, then I guess I could be throwing it to Dawson Knox because this guy widens and that window's open if he's supposed to be there. I just can't imagine he's supposed to be there. But if not, then I've already opened everything up and my eyes are to this shallow right here, and we get exactly what we want with his defender having to dip underneath. But for some reason, he's looking as if he wants to throw the other shallow here and not reading it through to the underneath guy in the mesh. Anyways, leads to a sack right there, but just bad. Again, something's messed up here across the board, and it leads to a sack. And these are the kind of things that you look at and say, okay, what do we do there? What's going on? Who ran the wrong route? Why am I doing and looking where I'm looking? Beautiful right here too. And like I said, there's a reason that Buffalo was still in this game, even though I think there was a lot of missed opportunities, which we're going to get to as they get later into the game. They made a lot of plays in this game too. Like this was one of my favorites. Look at this beautiful timing throw. Ball is already out against a man coverage, and Cooks here is going to be running the deep corner route or the deep out right here against man coverage. Ball is already out. He turns, boom, ball right on the money. I mean, you can't do it any better than that. Beautiful pitch and catch right there. So again, it's the little things. Snap. The snap is down. Okay? Snap is down. What we've got here is we've got a little curl flat combination right here. So in a curl flat combination, we're going to read the flat defender right here. There's the flat defender. I believe if Josh has this ball and is able to really read it and see it, he's going to throw the ball right here to his tight end. His tight end's got a great chance if you put the ball in the right spot to turn the corner and score a touchdown right here in this particular case. But because of the fumbled snap, now my eyes are all a mess. And now again, a sack, a short gain right here. But it doesn't come out clean because I got to go down and I got to try to handle the football and I can't see it the right way. So now I'm just trying to find somebody open. Can't find anybody open. Leads to a sack in the tight red zone. Okay, so here's another one here. Just the little things. Okay, so they get beat on the interior pressure right here. So right here, This is what Josh sees. He sees a guy coming clean right at him. Okay, now I'm not sure if he makes this throw or not. Okay, so they're running a little in post here. Then they're going to run a flat with Dawson Knox. And then here with Shakir, they're going to run a little hitch and go. Okay, so when I'm reading this, the first thing that I'm always seeing is, can I bang this in there in the red zone? If I can, I'm going to take it. If not, I'm going to read my high-low to the outside in hopes that I can get that little hitch and go. So if Josh doesn't have pressure, does he throw this right here? Does he throw it for a touchdown right here? Boom. I don't know. Otherwise, he probably just takes the flat right there, but he's got pressure. Okay? And then he scrambles, and this is an awesome scramble right here. Because look, he's throwing it here. And this is Keon Coleman, who's coming back this direction. And then on the throw, he reacts to it, does a great job of coming back behind the defender. Like, look right here. Great job stopping and coming back to the football and adjusting to Josh's throw. Like, he's going away from it. He adjusts to it, sees it, boom, right there. But drops his football. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, it didn't really matter because there was a penalty on the other end that would have brought it back. Anyways, that's true. No question about it. But now that he drops it, we can decline the penalty, and that was third down, and now we have to kick instead of having another opportunity to possibly put 7 points on the board. So where we want to excuse this particular drop, it is a huge play in the game, a huge mistake in the game. We miss up front right away, so we miss an opportunity for maybe a touchdown. Then Josh salvages it and makes a play, and then we drop this, and we have to kick a field goal instead of having another opportunity at a touchdown, which who knows what that means if we get another shot at it. Little things make a huge difference come playoff time, okay? And so this is where it kind of started to go bad for Buffalo, okay? So we all know Josh, right? There's 16 seconds to go in the game. They're trying to move the ball 40 yards, which I don't have a problem with that. You got Josh Allen. He makes a lot of big plays. I don't mind you going to see if you can flip the field and get a long field goal before the half. But you just have to be smart with what you're doing, okay? And so here's where it all started with Josh. Right here, okay? Patience. So they're going to run a play here where they're going to clear this guy out, and they're bringing James Cook from the backfield to run a corner route, flat underneath to grab the flat defender. So we got everything that we want. Good pocket there. They're only rushing 3, Josh. Patience. Stay there. Here it is. It's coming. Right here. There's going to be our corner route for the big play right here. Just have some patience. There's the throw. There's your throw. Complete it. Get out of bounds. That's what you want to do. Now, again, it's hard to fault Josh for, okay, he didn't see that, didn't like it. He takes off and runs. He's done this a million times. But you just got to protect the football, right? You just got to protect the football. He's waving it around. Great hustle on the back end. That Benito there that ends up knocking it out, but it's great hustle. You just got to be smart in that situation. But to me, it all starts with just being patient. And the patience part of it, to me also too, is with quarterbacks and how quickly they set. Okay, see how quickly Josh is set here to throw this? And James Cook is just at the line of scrimmage when he's set to throw it. What does that do? It speeds up the clock for the quarterback. Once you get set, you're like, I need to throw it. Why am I not throwing it? I'm set. I need to throw it. So you get impatient as he's bouncing. And you even see he pumps right here like, I want to throw this right here. But it's still too early because James Cook is running another 5 yards before he's breaking. And all of that just throws all the timing off. And then it leads to him having to run, trying to make a big play with his feet, now leads to carelessness and an easy 3 points on the other side. Then on the flip side, we're going to give the ball right back to Denver on a sack fumble, okay? And again, I'm not putting this on Josh. You get hit from the blind side. I get it. It's fumble. It goes to the quarterback, but that's not on the quarterback. Here's what I'm looking at, though. I've never quite figured this out on why teams do this, okay? This is Khalil Shakir right here, and he's going to chip Benito, but he's going to chip him out, okay? So he's going to chip him this way, Now, there's one part of it that says, oh, I get it. We're chipping him further away from the quarterback, so it's going to be harder for that guy to get a sack. But what that also does is it makes it harder on Dion Dawkins, the tackle, because he's got to cover so much more ground when we push this guy out there and we push him up the field on this chip. So just watch. We're going to chip that guy up and outside, so we're going to push him. And look at Dion Dawkins. He's got to turn and almost run to even get a hand on Benito before he gets around the corner. Like, I don't understand the chipping out. If anything, I'd want Shakur to jump outside of him, get in his way, or we can give him a slight motion, the ability to jump outside and chip him in or chip him from the outside, so we cut down the space that he can cover. I cut down the space that Dion Dawkins has to block, because we try to make this much space with a guy with speed. This is what's going to happen every time. We make it easy, and I think a big part of it is because of the chipping out of Benito there, because we don't get a whole bunch on him. We're basically just chipping him upfield and making it more difficult for our tackle to cover him. Sack, fumble, 3 more points for Denver. Again, it's the little things. I always like to ask why. And maybe there's a reason. And maybe offensive linemen and tackles like it better when we push the guy wide and push him up the field more. I don't know. I'm not an offensive tackle, but to me it just seems way, way more difficult than trying to find a way to chip that guy inside and cut down the space and allow my big guy to get hands on the littler guy on the other side. Okay? All right, good old pure progression. Okay, you guys know I don't like pure progression. Okay, so here's what we have. We've got a choice route right here. We put a go on the outside, which again just becomes a dead route. Don't know why we put choices out there. I always talk about it. I'd like a comeback out here. Now, I know it's a tight end there, so maybe you don't like that route anyways, but I like a comeback out there. So if I don't like the choice and they clamp and cover the choice, I can work my eyes right to the comeback. But teams don't want to do it. They want to run this guy on a go, this guy on a choice, and then here's what we're going to do. Pure progression. And we're going to run it in, okay, and then we're going to run, I believe this is a swing lead over to this side. But this is my problem, one of my problems with pure progression, is that it happens too fast. I'm looking left, okay? I'm looking left, and then somehow I have to, if that's covered, because see, they're going to clamp this. That's where this beautiful comeback would come in. We got one-on-one on the outside. We go win on the comeback, and my quarterback can stay there. Instead, he's got to start left, and he's got to come back to the right-hand side and try to figure out what's going on the right-hand side. And oftentimes, quarterbacks just rush through it, right? He comes, he tries to look there, but he can't really verify it because there's just too much going on, so I'm just going to kick it to the swing right here. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so it's not this guy's running a hook, and then this guy's running a swing, so it's not a lead. But look at the size of this hole right here for this throw. If I can get there and read it, but it just happens too fast. Okay, so Kurt, what would you do? Okay, here's what I would do. I would make this more of a full field type read. So I'm going to read Singleton right here on the snap. Okay, because here's what I see. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys underneath, right? Is this complicated? It's not complicated. It's a shell, not a shell coverage. It's a 3 deep coverage. It's 4 underneath, right? We want to talk about how difficult these defenses are to see. I don't agree with that in most instances. Okay, so I'm going to look here and go, here's what I know. I've got 1, 2, 3 guys working the underneath zones to the right. I basically have 1 guy working the underneath zone to the left. So instead of telling my quarterback it's pure progression, I'm going to tell him, I want you to go to your numbers. Okay, so if Singleton comes out and pushes to the strong side because we have 3 receivers over there, then you work your choice one-on-one off of that guy and you expect him to win. If Singleton works to the choice, now I want you to come back and I want you to read this inside out. What does this linebacker do here? He stays inside, then work to your next linebacker because he can't cover both of them because our advantage, 3 against 2, is to the strong side. So I want to be there unless they add a 3rd defender, Singleton, to this side. Instead, okay, Josh just has to go through it so fast because he can't see it. He can't verify what's going on. This is a huge play right here. Huge play that they're going to get on this particular play if we're teaching them to read it the right way and to understand numbers and to read the full field, to understand where our advantages are in these situations. Because I see too often quarterbacks just do this. They go through fast because they can't see it. And I don't want to fault Josh here because I get it. You're looking left. You have no idea what these guys are doing on the right, but I'm going to ask you to come back and find these throws to the right and find the right throw. Okay, so he just turns and he finds a throw, and you see, we got all this matched to right here, but he finds a throw just because that's all he can really salvage, and we miss it. But even if we get it, we probably lose a bunch of yards because we're throwing it right into the coverage because we had no chance to verify the coverage. Pure progressions. Again, I have a lot of arguments against it. That's just one of them. Oh. All right, so it's a play that a lot of teams run, okay? So what I call a 73, okay? So this is a 7 route, this is a 3 route, okay? So it's a quick out with a corner route, and then they're going to run a choice underneath it, okay? So it's a choice or a hook right here, an out, and a corner, okay? So what we really want to read here is we're going to read this out to the corner, okay? Now, this is where it gets to be kind of a tough read because we really think the outside linebacker has a chance to take away this out, which allows the corner a chance to take away the corner, and then this next backer has a chance to take away the choice, okay? But so that's what we're looking at. So when we come out, right, here's where it's hard. This guy takes away the out, but at the same time, the corner also squats to take this away. So in doing that, you're going to see there's a huge opportunity. Right, look at that. Look at that corner. That corner route's going to be huge for us right there. But it's just a really difficult read for the quarterback because you got to come out and say, okay, am I reading this guy on a quick out, or am I reading this guy on a quick out? So it's a difficult combination to read for the quarterback, where it's easy for me to stand back here and go, oh man, read the corner and throw the corner route. We have to be realistic and understand what we're asking a quarterback to do. Okay, what am I asking him to do? You're looking to see if the out is there. Of course, we're starting there because if everybody falls back, we want to take that. But who do I get my eyes on? Who am I reading? He's reading the outside linebacker here. So that takes him. It looks like he almost tries to pump and maybe come back to this corner, but I'm not really sure. He ends up getting this hook right here. But it's an opportunity that's out there. It's just a very difficult play for a quarterback to read and see all of those bodies, but an opportunity for a big play right there as well. Nice job salvaging it and getting close to the first down. So I know people can watch film and see all of this and say, oh, this is what he should have done. It's not as easy as you think it is because you got to understand what the quarterback's trying to see, who he's reading, who takes away the quick out, all of those different elements that a quarterback has to see in the course of 3 or 4 seconds. Love this right here. You guys hear me talk about it all the time. Have a hot plan. Have a pressure plan. What are they going to do? We're going to come with an all-out blitz. It's cover 0. Got a couple different options. He could go to Dawson Knox right here. They've got the little choice right here to Khalil. Either one. Great job right there. Boom. Ball's out. Let's win against pressure. Let's force them to not want to pressure anymore. Or no, if you pressure, we're going to beat you with the throw. Well done. First down. Good job right there. Love that stuff. Have a pressure plan, quarterbacks. Have a pressure plan in your scheme all the time. Worked out so many times this week where I saw teams having hot answers, especially the Rams game. That's what won the football game for them, is having a pressure plan every time. So here's an interception by Josh. Now he underthrows it a little bit, maybe leaves it a little bit more to the inside where the safety from the backside's able to go get it. Okay, so let's just take a look at this concept right here. Okay, so they're going to run an in on the backside with what I call kind of a pepper post or a post from the front side. I call it a pepper post because to me, when I run it to the back pylon. Okay, so I want him running across the field and I want him running to the back pylon. So it's a pylon post, back pylon post on this particular play. But they're going to run it in from the front side. And so when you come off on the in, who we're reading is Hufanga right here. Okay, we're coming back on the in, and I want to see if Hufanga holds on the in. If he holds on the in and steals the in, I want to go up over the top to the post. If he gets depth and doesn't hold the in, then we got to be ready to take the in first. That's the whole part of it, is we can't just assume we're going to throw the pepper post. Okay, so right there, okay? To me, you've got to ask the question as you're dropping back, and it's hard because with this guy running an in route, you see how fast it happens right there. And Hufanga is trying to midline this, right? He's trying to sit there, and if I throw the in, he's going to be ready to break on it, but he's also playing deep on this particular play. And that's what makes this hard and why I'm not as big a fan of an in route. And I get why we're putting an in route on there, but there's no element of being able to delay my read as a quarterback. Okay, so again, Kurt, what would you do? Okay, what I like to do on these plays is I like to run this guy on a take two hook. So I would be like, okay, we're going to run and we're going to split the numbers in the hash. We're going to run straight in between those two guys, and then I'm going to run a hook where I can come back to the quarterback. So I'm going to try to grab that safety. We're going to try to get over the top of him. But if he doesn't grab, I haven't missed my window on the in route because he's running back to the other side. So if we run a hook right here, so again, you see it. I go here and I run a hook. And I can keep coming back to the quarterback. So if Josh is a little bit late here because he's trying to really read and see if I have this one over the top, then I can still recover to the hook. Whereas with the in is going to be past the window. I can't recover to it if that's the case. And so here, he's trying to create, you see him come back and a little pump fake there. He's trying to create the opportunity over the top, which is another thing that I'm not a huge fan of. And I understand why, but I'm not a huge fan, again, especially with this particular look, with the in, because if you try to coerce Hufanga into driving on the in, and he doesn't, you're in trouble. So I always used to say, hey, I'm going to come out, and I'm going to hit the in if it's there. I'm going to hit the hook if it's there. If this guy hasn't taken it away, I'm taking it. And there might be a time where he midlines it, and this guy goes over the top, and we had a touchdown. But I need to know, based on the structure of the play, I can't be late on the end. If I'm late to the end, I don't have it anymore. So I've got to come back with the idea, Hufanga, take away the end. If you don't take away the end, I'm ripping it. You don't take away the end, I'm ripping it. Once you take away the end, boom, I'm hesitating, but I can't go back and say, I'm going to try to force him to cover the end, because then if he doesn't, like this, okay? So this is why I believe Josh ends up throwing this a little bit more on this line, is because Hufanga does a great job of midlining it, and then he's running back. He's running back to where I want to throw this post. But now I'm saying, I don't really want to throw it there because Hufanga's going there. So now I'm going to straighten him up a little bit. And in doing that, that safety should never make this play. This safety should never make this play. But Josh has to throw this ball to that back pylon. I got to let it go. I got to count on my receiver to outrun Hufanga, who I got to hesitate a little bit by throwing it to the back pylon. Instead, we try to be perfect and lay it right on him, and we allow this backside safety, who makes a great play, to come and get involved and make the interception. So again, I just think everything matters. Every part of the details matter. Doesn't seem like a big deal to everybody at home with the in route versus the hook. There's a reason. There's a method to the madness at all times that allows the quarterback the best opportunity to be successful. Okay? And again, there's nothing wrong with the in route on that play. I understand exactly why. But how this guy reads it back here and the timing that he has to understand that. Otherwise, you put yourself in a bind, you force yourself to make throws or do things that you really don't want to do. Okay, here we go with another pure progression. Okay, so we're going to go here. We got the stick concept to the left. Okay, everybody runs it. Okay, it's covered. It's covered. There's the throw right there. There's your throw right there. Here it is. It's right there. There's a throw. We got to beat this guy with the throw. Okay, this is the one with the sled right here. Okay, we got to beat that guy with the throw. If I'm to that side right now. I'm ready for it, and I got the throw. I got what I want, and I can make that particular throw right there. Okay? But by starting left and pure progression, okay, I'm not there on time. I can't be there on time, and I don't know what's going on back to that side. So I'm stuck making an errant throw right here. Oh, gotcha. This is the same play. Okay? Same play. I guess he's not blocking. It's the same play right here. But again, if I just go with my numbers, and I'm not saying the stick is all wrong here, because really, in essence, we've got a deep guy and just one underneath guy. So we say that we should have the stick. If that's the case, then I got to see the guy that's circled. And if he doesn't break right now, I got to take it. Okay? But on the other side, we got 3 receivers over there. Okay? So again, same premise here. I got 3 receivers against 2 underneath guys to that side. Okay? So I know I'm going to have an advantage over there no matter what against those 2 guys. Then they actually bring one of the guys in pressure. So now they bring one of those guys with pressure. Now I've got all kinds of advantages. I got the in, or I've got 2-on-1 over here on this defender. But because it's pure progression, because I have to start to the left first, and now I get back and I'm impatient and I don't really know what I'm seeing, and I'm moving and I'm trying to create and try to find the right guy, it leads to missed opportunities and missed throws and things that Josh Allen would never do. He'd never miss this throw. If he started over there and he read it and he was getting to this hook by Dawson Knox, he wouldn't miss this throw. But he's missing this throw because he's playing too fast and he's trying to find the opening. And when you get back here, it's no longer about reading defenders. It's really just, okay, who's open? Can I see him? Can I find him? How quickly? Where are the bodies? I'm not even looking at these guys. And that's why a lot of these things are rushed, because I don't really know where the defenders are. I'm just trying to find my guys and create a completion. Missed so many opportunities with it because, again, you don't know the timing of when you have to get back to the other side. I don't know, because the front side has nothing to do with the backside. It doesn't tell me when the backside guys are going to be open, so I got to read front side. How long do I get to stay there? What am I looking for on the front side? It doesn't really matter. Just see if a guy's open, then work to the backside and find the guy open on the backside. Man, I know, sounds really easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is not easy. All right. Good one right here. Love this play call. It's always one of my favorites. Okay, so it's a corner, and then the flat coming here. Now, they happen to run pylon here. So this is a high pylon instead of a post, which would be Poco. And, sometimes you just wish I would have called Poco here instead of pylon. And you'll see why, because we're going to read the safety. Hufanga gets nosy, turns, and not that this isn't open, but if we had a post here, look at the opportunity that would be there. And again, just a happening. We guessed wrong. We tried the pylon instead of the Poco, or the pylon instead of the post, but still, good read by Josh. Really good throw for the first down right there. So even though a lot of missed opportunities in here, also a lot of big plays and good plays by this team. And again, why, even with all the mistakes, they were in this football game and had a chance to win it. Okay, so again, these are tough. Okay, we're going to try to run the bubble screen. We're going to fake the bubble screen. They hit a touchdown on this last week. Fake the bubble screen, okay, and see if we get it. Denver goes, yeah, we saw you hit a touchdown on it last week. We're not biting on that. We're going to take it away, okay? So they take it away nicely, okay? They cover it, and really what we're reading is this guy more than anybody. He stays way back. So now Josh works to the backside. Now, here's a huge opportunity on the in to the backside. But I'm going to tell you again, not easy. It's hard to do, to start left and come back to the right and make this throw and verify it. So I'd love for him to see that corner not bite and then be able to get back. And he's turning around. And again, this is very much like a pure progression. Not that you're going to do anything different, because on a fake screen, you're going to read the fake screen side and then have to work back to the back side. But you would like something that times up. If I do that, okay, if I don't have it, it's going to take me this long, and it times up with something on the backside, so I can turn back and find it. Josh is just turning and finding a completion right here. So he finds the back, but this guy's jumped all over it. If he has time to be able to get back here. So maybe this isn't an in, and maybe this is a deep curl again, where he can push it, spend his time, keep coming back to the quarterback, but something that if I get everybody to flow to the fake screen, I can work backside and have a chance to get a big play, because there's the end. I mean, you see how wide open it is, and it's easy to go, well, Josh, just work back to your big end, but it's really hard to do, again, to start one side, come back to the other side, verify it with everything going as fast as it is up front, and instead, we're just finding a completion. We find a completion, but it really does nothing for us. Don't even really get any positive yards here. When there's an opportunity to be had, it's just a tough opportunity. So we all saw this one. This ball hits the ground. They end up scoring a touchdown on the play. I have no idea if they're going to score a touchdown on this play otherwise, but it's just a question, like, looks to me as if Josh thinks the screen is going to come from here, because as you look at it, look where Josh is set. He's set to throw it in here, and then he has to recover and throw it out there. That's why he pump fakes it. And so I'm asking myself the question, what happened here? Now, here's what I'm really asking myself. Is Shakir supposed to motion down here? Did they miss a motion here? Because you see how he comes running down inside, and maybe not. Maybe not. They could easily run the screen from this direction right there. But whatever happened here creates an errant throw, because it looks to me like Josh is looking a different spot than where the screen is. And again, like I said, if he comes out and completes this right off the bat, I'm not saying there's a touchdown scored anyways, but maybe. I mean, being the fact that he scored a touchdown anyways, you never quite know. And these little things. Forces a field goal here instead of a touchdown. Might have been a field goal anyways. But I just look at all these little things that end up costing you in big games like this. And it's in tight games, right? In tight games, the littlest things matter. Okay, so here's another one. We're going to run a double move. And I told you earlier about Josh being more patient on the double moves. Okay, so we're going to run a little stutter, go. I don't know, maybe this is supposed to be just a go route. So, but because he's got to run it from inside and he's got to get around this, we got to give him a little bit more time to get off of it. Okay, and so Josh comes back, and you see he just turns and launches this right now. What we really want to do is try to let this guy get around his guy and get going again, okay? Because there's an opportunity here right there. He's getting over the top of him, but the ball is already well gone, and the ball ends up being a little bit short. I think he catches it, but this is the one where his hand touches out of bounds before his knee touches inbounds. But to me, the biggest thing is, and I like what Josh is doing, he's coming back, he's holding the free safety, all that stuff is good, but when he's getting to throw this football, you see we're still getting banged right here, okay? So he's getting banged by the defender, okay? Easy for us to say, well, that could be a penalty, right? It could be illegal contact because he's more than 5 yards down the field, but regardless, this stuff is going to happen. As a quarterback, I've got to give that guy a tick to get around his defender before I throw it. Otherwise, I'm trying to figure out how much contact, where exactly do I throw it. Now the ball's left behind, even though it's a great catch. But it can be the difference between a big play and no play. And once again, these are little things. Like, these aren't huge things. Josh didn't miss by a lot. But the little things that we have to think about as a quarterback become huge difference makers. When I throw a go route, especially a go route that has to stutter and go, or has to get around a defender, or a guy that's coming off a contact, all of that stuff makes a difference. And I felt like Josh rushed a couple of those deep throws that, again, we have no idea if it's going to hit him anyways, but it's just seeing and understand the big picture concept. Okay, so here we're going to run knife right here. Okay, so this is double unders with a knife route down the middle of the field. Let's see what we run on the backside here. Okay, on the backside, we're going to run a little stop route here with Coleman. Okay, so Josh, this is, to me, this is how I read this. Okay, we got two high safeties here. Okay, my read is going to be on Hufanga right here. If Hufanga stays where he's at, I am going to come back and quickly high-low this right here off of that linebacker. Okay, I'm going to high-low him. I'm going to keep my tight end to the strong side of the field anyway. So if Hufanga stays back here outside the hash, I'm reading it front side. If Hufanga pushes to the front side, then I'm going to take my one-on-one to the backside. Okay, and so Josh comes out and he looks left. He looks left. So I'm not really sure what he's looking at. It looks to me like he's looking at Hufanga. Okay, and he is. And so Hufanga stays out the backside hash. Now get back and read your Mike linebacker. Boom. There's your throw right there. Big throw. Big opportunity right there. But instead, once again, he starts left and then he comes back quickly and he doesn't even read anything. Like there's no even hitch at the top of his drop. He comes back, hits the back foot, boom, throws it. Love for him to see Hufanga get back once he's verified that and knows, hey, he's holding outside the backside hash. As long as I get it on my tight end quickly, he's not going to get there to break it up. But now I got to see the Mike linebacker. Mike linebacker settles and comes on the under. There's your in right there. There's the throw. Boom. Right there outside the hash. Big throw. Going to set us up inside the 10-yard line. Instead, we come off high and hard, but that catch is not going to get us a whole bunch as he's probably going to be tackled right there. Little things. Missed opportunity right there. And so that's the one that leads to this one. Okay, so we missed it last time. I'm sure somebody said, oh man, wide open down the middle of the field. Be ready for that again. Okay, so we're going to come back this time and we're going to run it out here and then we're going to run that same kind of influence down the middle of the field. Okay, on this particular play, they're going to drop to cover 3. Okay, so they're going to go to cover 3. So now, if I'm going to look to throw this here, okay, I'm going to read this corner in Patrick Surtain. It's not a safety anymore. It's the corner. Okay, so now we want to read that corner. Okay, so now we've got a couple different options here. Okay, Josh could easily throw this one for an easy first down right here. Okay, an easy first down in this situation. Now I know he's got this and he's got this opportunity, but I'm just reading Surtain's body language. When he turns his hips and goes to the inside, okay, doesn't mean he's going to take away the tight end down the middle of the field, but it's going to mean as we come out of this, I just want you to see Brandon Cooks, like that's an easy completion right there for a first down. It's going to take us down to the 15-yard line. This one is good too. He can obviously put this ball on him. He can make this throw every time. Problem here is, I think, he felt guys around him. He felt guys reaching for the ball, and he rushed the ball a little bit, and he ends up missing this throw. But all I'm saying is just read the body language right there, and you could take the first one. That's an easy one. But either way, I think he's going to be kicking himself right now. Like, it's this reach right there that I believe Josh feels. I'm not sure if that guy gets an elbow or touches him at all and forces the errant throw. But I would love for Josh to come back, see the body language of Surtain, and just take the easy one out here for an easy completion. But either way, missed opportunity right there for a big play to set him up with the first down. Okay, so this is a play that everybody was saying, holding penalty, game should have been over right here anyways, maybe. But again, it's one of these things where I'm just like, okay, Josh, what are we looking at right here? Like, okay, we got a choice with the 7 route over the top, reading Surtain, he's soft, put it on him right there. I'm in the shadow of my own end zone, just put it on him right there, take it. Again, gets a positive play here, but right, that could have easily been called a holding penalty right there, and that's in the end zone. We lose the game right there. So just seeing it and getting it out, so key in those situations. Just seeing the right thing, getting completions, not trying to do too much. Another missed opportunity they're going to be kicking themselves on. So here's that play that we talked about earlier. Okay, out, corner, hook, or choice right here. Okay, this time goes to throw the out, corner jumps all over it. Okay, so now we've got the corner route right here. Oh, man, so tough. And I'm always trying to look at what's the angle of the guy coming out here. You know, did he set it this way and then fall up the field? You guys, I don't think so. I feel like he set his angle and he stayed on his angle. And again, we're trying not to rush it. Okay, so you see it, right? You see the corner jump it. You know there's nobody else out there. And again, I don't need you to take a whole bunch of time. I just want you to come back and verify the angle of that guy so we don't miss this opportunity. And again, that's all it was. Is I thought he was going to flatten, right? We all saw the Bears game. I thought DJ Moore was going to flatten across the safety. He stayed high. Josh probably saying, I thought he was going to flatten more. And I don't know who this receiver is here going, well, I'm just running my angle and I'm wide open there. Just put it on me. And we got a huge, huge play right here. Missed opportunity for a big play. And again, the problem is that it's the same drive that we end up throwing the interception and all the questions about the interceptions, but you never know how drives change, right? What affects a game. That play right there, we're going to talk about the interception and that play and how that play right there could have very easily changed this game and gotten Buffalo a win. Okay, so it comes back to this one right here. And so got everything we want. We got pressure. Okay, not really sure what Denver's doing here. So this is basically blitz zero. Okay, so it's zero coverage. I should say it's cover zero, but I don't know if I say blitz zero because watch what they do. If you're bringing blitz zero as a defense, any team that does it that doesn't bring everybody is doing it wrong because they don't have enough blockers for all 8 of those guys. They have enough blockers if we drop somebody out. So I don't want to give this guy all day long to be able to set up this post route. And so you watch Denver and they pop the defensive ends out. And so what are the defensive ends doing? And again, I understand. They're helping in case you throw it quick and they can make the tackle. But there's no pressure on Josh Allen here, right? You bring in blitz zero so you have no help back here for these DBs, which is extremely hard. And you got to force them to throw the ball quickly if you're going to do that. Otherwise, they got exactly what they want right here. Now just throw it, Josh. Throw it early and put air on it. And again, I understand. We just missed one because of the angle. I don't want to miss the angle again. But the biggest thing here is I want to set this ball. We got all this space here. I want to set this ball out there where Brandon Cooks can go get it. Not to be perfect. Just lay it out there. Lay it up early. See how many hitches he's taken? I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. I'd love to see him just throw this a tick earlier and lay it out there. Throw it out there and let your guy go get it. We're just a touch short on the ball and being a touch short, right? Short, and you can even throw it over here. You can let him separate this way. He's got the DB beat. We want to get it out there where he gets to keep running. We don't want him to slow down. Granted, we saw one on the other side where he slows down and we get the PI, so a lot of things can happen, but being a little bit short on this football is what allows McMillan to get back into the play and ultimately get the interception here and ultimately win the football game. And so there was a lot of things out there for this Bills team in this game and missed opportunities and questions that I have about different things that they're doing, that could have been the difference in this game. Denver made the plays they needed to get the win. I understand that. I believe this was the right call. Going to the ground, you got to secure the ball through the end of the play. And Cooks did not do that even though he touched down. McMillan stole it from him. So at the end of the play, who finished with the ball? The defense. That's why they get the interception. But there's just a lot of opportunities in this game that I felt Buffalo didn't take advantage of. And by not taking advantage of a few of those things, it could have easily been the difference in this game.